At the start, his friend was shocked to see a girl talking to him. He was also a bit frightened and she asked if he was okay. Then the scene shifts back to 4 hours earlier. While he was heading home, he received a message from his friend Nozomu. The message was a plea for help. At first, he hesitated, but then he thought about how they had been friends since childhood. He wondered what kind of help Nozomu needed. Anxiety crept in. What if his friend had gotten himself into trouble while trying to be an influencer? After a moment of doubt, he called Nozomu, reminiscing about how much he had enjoyed their time together in the past. However, when Nozomu answered, the moment his voice came through, his smile disappeared. That moment brought him back to the present, and he realized he couldn't share this with anyone except Nozomu. Nozomu, now visibly distressed, admitted that he was lost and had no idea how things had turned out this way. Then, as he looked at the girl in front of him, something in his mind flipped. He suddenly thought, she's my ideal woman. Even if this was some kind of setup, he found himself not caring. Still, he decided to hold himself back. He didn't want to ruin a long-standing friendship. Then, the girl reached out and placed her hand on his forehead to check his temperature. In that moment, he felt himself falling for her. But snapping back to reality, he slapped his own face to regain his composure. With a smile, he finally asked who she was. Her response shocked him. "It's me, Nozomu." Both of them eventually went to his home. Looking around, he mentioned that it had been a while since he last came back here. Still in disbelief, he asked again if she was really Nozomu. She confirmed it. When he asked how this happened, she clarified that she hadn't turned into a girl, but rather had become a succubus. That left him even more confused. She got irritated that he didn't believe her. In frustration, she stood up and declared that she had no choice but to prove it. That made him a bit nervous. Then she said something bizarre, that he had lost money to a man with boobs. He was completely speechless. To further convince him, she started mentioning things that only the two of them knew. Unable to handle it anymore, he told her to shut up and finally accepted it. Then he asked how she became a succubus. In response, she began taking off her clothes, making him blush. As she revealed her body, he couldn't help but think, that's huge. However, what she actually wanted to show him was her tail, which was directly connected to her body. Embarrassed, he told her to put something on and insisted she explain everything. She revealed that her mother was somehow part succubus, which completely shocked him. If that were true, he thought, maybe he could just ask her mother how to turn back. But then he imagined what would happen if he did that. He would probably end up dressed like a doll. Suddenly, Nozomu hugged him, begging him for help. Seeing his friend in distress, he reassured her that he would help, so she didn't need to cry. However, he winced as her horns poked into him. As she adjusted them, he teasingly told her to stay just like that. That made her a bit annoyed, but he quickly added that no matter what form Nozomu took, they would always be friends. Hearing that, she hesitated. This isn't just friendship anymore, she thought. I could lose control and assault him anytime. Meanwhile, he misinterpreted her expression and asked if she had a stomach ache. As he searched for medicine, she grew more flustered, realizing her lower body was tingling. He guessed it must be part of her succubus instincts. As he continued looking for medicine, she suddenly hugged him from behind and licked his ear. He quickly told her to stop since he was in the middle of something. But then he realized she had used her tongue. That shocked him, and he told her to cut it out. Then she sat on him. Looking serious, she warned him to run away because she couldn't stop her instincts anymore. But he simply smiled and replied, "How could I run away and leave my best friend behind?" She was stunned. Did he really mean it? She asked if he would still be with her even after she turned into this form. He answered without hesitation, of course. Then she asked, "Even after I almost assaulted you?" His response was firm. "That doesn't matter. We'll always be friends, right?" Hearing that, she finally trusted his words. No matter what, Their bond wouldn't be broken so easily by something like lust. The next morning, she woke up feeling groggy. Did I fall asleep? She wondered. A voice greeted her. Good morning. She turned her head, and was horrified to find him lying next to her. Shocked, she slapped him. How did this happen?